was mounted on them. Like hooks. She may have been bled. There's something wrong with the meat.
Oh.
He's eating them.
My guy. Holy smokes. Oh, there he is. What a man. The lighting, the introduction.
A few moments later.
A little protein scramble to start the day. Some eggs, some sausage.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
What is he feeding this man? Hannibal. I have been looking forward to watching this show for a couple of weeks now. A few months ago, I watched Silence of the Lambs, and that was one of the best movies I've ever seen. Hannibal, Clarice, the psychological thriller, the mystery. I loved everything about that. And I heard there was a TV show, but after watching Interview with the Vampire, a lot of people in my comment section recommended this show because they're like, Frank, if you love Interview with the Vampire, if you love the mystery, the beautiful dialogue, and all those beautiful things, that you are going to love Hannibal. And final thing before we start this, on Patreon they're definitely going to get the whole show, but I'm going to continue this show based on the performance here on YouTube. So if you guys love what you see, hit that like button, subscribe, let me hear your thoughts, boost all the engagement so that YouTube promotes my video and help me out. But like I said, everything will be on Patreon. If you're watching this on YouTube, then we'll probably halfway through the series on Patreon. Just wanted to say all that. I'm excited for Hannibal. I don't know if Hannibal fits into spooky season, but we're getting there. If you're watching this right now, I am almost done with Interview with the Vampire. I'm going to start watching Fleabag very soon. I'm currently watching The Wire. I'll put some of the shows I'm watching on screen so all of you can see. And with that long intro, it is time for Hannibal. Let's start the show. Sirens. Uh-oh. Crime scene. Holy smokes. Hello? Is that a main character as well? Is he scanning the crime scene? Is this trying to show how good he is at analyzing a crime scene? It's quite artistic. I love it. Oh man, I know I'm gonna love this show. Psst. I know I am absolutely gonna love this show. It's almost like he's going back in time. Interesting. Hello?
Likewise, severing jugulars and carotids with near surgical precision. He will die watching me take what is his away from him.
My God.
This is my design.
She was accessing the alarm system. Okay, I'm sure he's not the one who did it, but I think this is part of him analyzing what happened, kind of like putting himself in the mind of the suspect, the culprit. These slow motion shots are chef's kiss.
Expertly through the neck. This is not a fatal wound. The bullet misses every artery. She's paralyzed before it leaves her body.
My goodness.
She can't do anything about it.
Yikes. That was horrifying.
This is DDX Security. Who am I speaking with?
I need the incident report for the home security company.
He is a cop. Yeah.
A false alarm last week.
Yeah, it's been time.
He recorded Mrs. Marlowe's conversation with the security company.
This is.
Wow.
Marlowe.
Can you please confirm your password for security purposes?
Kettle.
Is that a serial killer?
Marlowe, we've detected a front door alarm.
Yeah, sorry about that. Thank you so much for calling.
All the recording.
Everyone has thought about killing someone, one way or another.
Oh?
About killing Mrs. Marlowe. Why did she deserve this?
Hannibal.
Tell me your design.
Interesting. What an assignment.
Mr. Graham, Special Agent Jack Crawford. I head the Behavioral Science Unit.
I also understand it's difficult for you to be social.
I'm just talking at them. I'm not listening to them. It's not social.
Where do you fall on the spectrum?
Oh.
My horse is hitched to a post that is closer to Asperger's and autistics.
Can I borrow your imagination?
Yeah, he want to recruit him.
8 girls abducted from 8 different Minnesota campuses, all in the last...
Minnesota. I love this so much because, obviously I spoke earlier about my love for Silence of the Lambs, and obviously when you have someone like Hannibal Lecter, it takes someone just as not wild per se, but someone just as good to be like an opposing force to Hannibal. And obviously in that movie, Clarice, I love Clarice, did that. So just from that first scene and how we're introduced to him, yeah, I'm feeling him already. Hugh.
About 3 minutes before I walked into your lecture hall.
Wow.
Calling them abductions because you don't have any bodies?
Because he ate it all.
Or you think they were taken?
All of them abducted on a Friday, so they wouldn't have to be reported missing until Monday. Now, however, he's covering his
Wow.
weekend to do it.
He's not an idiot.
Number 8.
Elise Nichols, she never made it home.
Damn.
Seven are dead, don't you think? He's not keeping them around. He got himself a new one.
Mm-hmm. They're all very similar.
Shaved skin.
Same hair color, same eye color,
Mm-hmm.
roughly the same age, same height, same weight. So what is it about all of these girls? So is he warming up for his golden ticket or just reliving whatever it is he did to her?
Well, the golden ticket wouldn't be the first taken, and she wouldn't be the last. He would hide how special she was.
You make jumps you can't explain.
No. The evidence explains.
Help me find some.
Obviously, this show is going to deal with a lot of psychology, sociology as well. And I know there's about to be a lot of terms here that I might not be familiar with. So feel free to fill me in the comments if there's anything I missed. And also, like, I'm going to apologize in advance if I happen to make any stereotypes concerning a lot of the mental conditions he has that might make him see something differently. I know it's an overgeneralization to say autistic people are particularly smart at one thing or the other, be it math or physics or problem solving. So like, I want to be careful with how I thread that line, with how I thread that needle as I get through the show. But definitely there's something about him that makes him special and see all these things the way he sees it. Like Big Homie just told him here, like, you don't necessarily do the same thing those others do. Like, there's something about you that's different. So, I'm loving this already.
It may require me to be sociable.
He don't want to. Duluth. That's next door.
She didn't like living in her dorm. I could see how the pressure of school might have gotten to her.
Gosh.
She likes trains. Could Elise still be alive?
I feel he's gonna give a direct answer.
Simply have no way of knowing.
How's the cat?
Him.
What?
Was the cat weird when you came home? Must have been hungry, didn't eat.
They're like, what you talking about?
I didn't notice.
Is he feeling for the cat more than he's feeling for her?
Took her from here.
From her home?
She got on a train. She came home. She fed the cat.
How did he know that?
The Nichols house is a crime scene. Send a photographer.
Why is it now a crime scene?
Dog.
Can I see your daughter's room?
Y'all don't understand how much I'm loving this.
Put your hands in your pockets and avoid touching anything. Elise, need you to leave the room.
Hello? I thought this was one of his, like, trips he did in the beginning scene, like trying to analyze the scene. Hello? Did he put her... Let me let them cook. Did he put her back? What is going on? Her body's pale already.
You ready to talk, you talk. If you don't feel like it, you don't talk. You let me know when you're ready for us to come in.
I love that they're giving him space to do his thing. He's doing the thing again. And guys, please, 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 I can't overemphasize how much I want y'all to be good campers in the comments. I know there are going to be a lot of things, especially in this pilot episode, that maybe will be fleshed out later. And if I miss those things, it's okay. You don't have to pull my attention to them at all. I don't like spoilers though, or any hinting comments. I like to approach those myself, and I feel like it makes for a better reaction for you guys. So if there's anything I'm missing, just let me flow with it, okay? Love you guys. Thank you. I'm so curious how her body got back in there. Is he about to cry? Jesus Christ.
You wrote the standard monograph on time of death by insect activity.
You weren't supposed to be in here.
You, not real FBI?
I'm a special investigator.
Never been an FBI agent?
Hold on, excuse me. Look, deer and elk pin their prey, okay? They put all their weight into their antlers to try and suffocate a victim. That's how they would kill like a fox or a coyote.
All right, at least Nichols was...
Antler velvet is rich in nutrients. It actually promotes healing.
You think he was trying to heal her?
He
Hello?
wanted to undo, given that he'd already killed her. What he did to the others, he couldn't do it to her.
Oh.
This is golden ticket.
Then why would he try to save her?
This is an apology. Don't have any aspirin.
Interesting. Obviously, I'm gonna pull from my knowledge of Silence of the Lambs. I'm watching the movie. He's such a interesting guy in the sense that like he has this moral code and principle. So here, hearing them say this is almost like an apology, he was trying to undo what he did. I'm like, did he feel like he crossed the line? This is super interesting. Obviously, I know this show is gonna be triggering for some people watching, so just make sure you're taking care of yourself. Where's your owner? Oh, he went and got food. I love this because this is showing that he cares. Come on, man. That's a whole wholesome man.
This is everybody. This is Winston.
Wow, he got lots of dogs.
That's right.
Is it because he prefers animals over people? Oh, dog. He can't stop thinking about her. Cold sweat. Yep. This is kind of practice for me because I'm going to be watching The Haunting of Hill House soon.
What are you doing in here?
Oh,
Smell of urinal cake.
Me too, we need to talk. Use the ladies' room!
dang, what'd he do? No answers yet?
Do you respect my judgment, Will? We will stand a better chance of catching this guy with you in the saddle.
Yeah, I'm in the saddle. Just confused which direction I'm pointing. I don't know this kind of psychopath. I've never read about him. I don't even know if he's a psychopath. He's not insensitive. He's not shallow.
You know
Exactly.
something about him. Otherwise, you wouldn't have said this is an apology.
Couldn't honor her.
How crazy is he?
So he put her corpse back where he killed it, whatever crazy that is.
You think he loves...
Interesting.
He loves one of them. He doesn't want these girls to suffer. He kills them quickly and
Yes?
his thinking with
With
mercy.
mercy. Again, it goes back to Hannibal Lecter from the... Sorry, spoiler warning for anyone who haven't seen Silence of the Lambs. But you remember how after Hannibal, you can skip a few scenes, but remember how Hannibal, after he escaped from prison and Clarice's friend was asking her, Clarice, aren't you gonna run away? Aren't you gonna ask for protection? And Clarice was like, he wouldn't come after me. He would find that disrespectful, or like, you know, not just out of his principle, because he's not like that. She was so confident in him because of like their prior engagement and how he, yeah, just have that moral code or something. Like he don't want to offend others. Again, which I understand, dude, because what kind of crazy is that? You having morality or you having some kind of like a code that you don't go over, but still be willing to dice people into pieces. Like what kind of crazy is that, you know? But I love, and I want to say almost halfway through the episode and we haven't seen him. I love when shows and movies do that. It's like, it's kind of like Jaws, you know? You go a while before you see the shark.
Sensitive psychopath.
He knows he's gonna get caught.
Interesting. And how does this play into the cannibalism parts? Because that's something they're not even thinking about yet, right? Where'd she find weapon? I think forensic scientists are like the coolest people ever. Uh-oh. Is she the next victim?
I'm as honest with him as I'd be with a patient.
You've been observing him while you've been guest lecturing here at the academy, yes?
I've never been in a room alone with Will.
Why not?
What do you think one of Will's strongest drives is?
Let us know.
Fear. Will Graham deals with huge amounts of fear.
It's the price of imagination.
Ah.
I need him out there. Should he get too close, I need you to make sure he's not out there alone.
Oh.
Don't let him get too close.
He won't.
Interesting. I'm kind of worried about that too, because from the two scenes of him investigating a scene and him almost getting in the mind of the killer, I kind of felt that was like dangerous, you know? Like he has to get into the killer's head. That felt way too dangerous, because like what if he, I don't know, gets stuck there or ends up liking it? Just thoughts. This is a reaction video anyways. I'm just trying to let y'all hear it.
Reports say anything about nails?
Scrapings were from her own palms. She never scratched him.
Piece of metal is all we got.
We should be looking at plumbers, steam fitters, tool workers.
Interesting insight. He didn't even want to look at the body. This movie is so artistic, like the... Ooh.
He was mounted on them. Like hooks. She may have been bled.
Her liver was removed. You see that?
He took it out. He put it back in.
He put it back in?
Cut it out if he's just gonna sew it back in again.
There's something wrong with the meat.
She has liver cancer.
Oh.
He's eating them.
My guy. I was thinking it was gonna take long till he figured that out. Holy smokes. Oh, there he is. What an actor, what a man. The lighting, the introduction.
Please.
Oh, yes, he's a psychologist. Therapist?
If you weren't neurotic, Franklin, you would be something much worse.
He didn't like that.
It's why you feel as though a lion were on the verge of devouring you.
The editing, the shots.
I hate to be discourteous, but this is a private exit for my patients.
Oh, Dr. Lecter. Jack Crawford.
May wait in the waiting room.
I love how particular he is. Did you notice how he scanned the ID properly? This man probably got photographic memory. And I remember from Silence of the Lambs that he did therapy for people just to find things to intrigue him. So I'm guessing patients like this bore him the F out. Correct me if I'm wrong, but...
This is all about you.
Is he a suspect already?
You expecting another patient?
We all alone.
Artist.
My boarding school in Paris when I was a boy. Learned very early a scalpel cuts better points than a pencil sharpener.
Johns Hopkins.
I'm beginning to suspect you're investigating me.
Oh, yeah.
No. But she told me that you mentored her during her residency at Johns Hopkins.
I learned as much from her as she did from me.
She also
Interesting.
showed me, your paper. Very interesting. Even for a layman.
A layman. So many learned fellows going about in the halls of behavioral science at the FBI. And you consider yourself a layman.
I do when I'm in your company, Doctor. I need you to help me with a psychological profile.
That is so cold. They essentially coming to him to investigate a case concerning him. I'm guessing he's gonna find Will fascinating. I'm trying to just like consume this show as it is, but like it's just almost impossible for me not to connect it to my prior knowledge of Silence of the Lambs. I know there were two other movies around Silence of the Lambs, Red Dragon and Hannibal, was it? I didn't watch them yet, but it's just hard not to connect the dots. I mean, even him being an artist, obviously in Silence of the Lambs, he drew so many articulate, highly detailed drawings from memory, you know? I love this.
Some genius in Duluth PD took a photograph of Elise Nichols' body with his cell phone, shared it with his friends.
Tasteless.
Do you have trouble with taste?
Thoughts are often not tasty.
No, mine. No effective barriers.
I've been waiting for this.
Not fond of eye contact, I am.
Eyes are distracting. Oh, those whites are really white. Or he must have hepatitis, or is that a burst vein? So I try to avoid eyes whenever possible.
I was looking forward to them conversing.
No force in the bone arena of your skull for things you love.
Profile are you working on? Whose profile is he working on?
I'm sorry, Will. Observing is what we do.
Don't psychoanalyze me.
Maybe we shouldn't poke him like that, Doctor. Perhaps a less direct approach.
Deception's a tool that's pointed on both ends.
He got that just off a few conversations and reading his body language and the lack of eye contact. I mean, what he just said essentially is maybe a written version or a spoken version of what we've seen him do, like in those crime scenes with his mind, like get in there. Again, the suits, man. Look at that fit. Boy.
I think I can help Goodwill see his face.
You already did, my boy. Jesus. Jesus.
Minneapolis Homicide's already made a statement. They're calling him the Minnesota Shrike.
Pails, mice, and lizards on thorny branches and barbed wire. Puts them in a little birdie pantry and eats them later.
Can't tell whether it's sloppy or shrewd.
Petulant. I feel like he's mocking her.
He wanted you to find it.
Where did all his love go?
Whoever tucked Elise Nichols into bed didn't paint this picture.
Pretty sure she was alive when he cut him out.
Dog.
Our cannibal loves women. He doesn't want to destroy them. He wants to consume them. This girl's killer thought that she was a pig.
It's a copycat. Because when he asked that question, where did his love go? It's like, yeah, with everything we've brought up about the killer, this seems very like out of pocket, or this seems very different. Because isn't that a thing that happened in real life with like serial killers and stuff like that, where people start like mimicking them? Obviously, if you're watching this, you might have already peeped the fact that I am not a fan of the true crime scene, a fan of the serial killer or stuff like that, because a lot of that media is out there. The closest I ever got was watching, I think Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer one. And that thing made me freaking sick. I said I would never watch something like that again. Not just for the clear fact that like this man was preying on people of color, even young people, like just how Netflix handled that, you know. It didn't center the victims, it's centered the killer and the fans. Oof. But yeah, that's a discussion for another day. But this is intriguing as hell. I love what I'm watching, dog. I ain't gonna lie. I love it.
She's an only child. He's leaving home.
Interesting.
She's his golden ticket.
This is sick. Again, the suits, man. This is sick because I'm usually a guy who gets hungry when watching people eating on TV. God. And one of the things some of you who told me to watch this show or push me in this direction is this idea that like the way the way the show is shot in a very like beautiful way. Like the editors and the set designers and everything is like, the cinematography is just exquisite. And someone told me a long time ago that a lot of the cooking scenes are like some of the most beautiful, like Top Chef-esque things you've ever seen. Like, and that shit looked beautiful. It was a freaking liver, bro. Or was that the lungs? And he was pressing too. Was he trying to get all the air out? This man is sick. The part about Will saying he has a daughter, she's his golden ticket, almost like he pulled that out of nowhere. But if you're watching this and you know that I'm starting to watch The Haunting of Hill House and some other Flanagan shows, please start praying for me. Because I thought I heard something and I'm like, hey, cat. God, this show's gonna kill me. Not this one. I don't know. This show is quite artistic in its presentation, and some of the scary stuff or spooky stuff with like the bodies and the antlers, that has been trippy a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. Like that curtain opening like that. Hello? Does it have feathers?
Good morning, Will. May I come in?
Socializing.
Crawford. The adventure will be yours and mine. May I come in?
If only you knew what was in front of you.
It means I end up preparing most meals myself. A little protein scramble to start the day. Some eggs, some sausage.
That's delicious, thank you.
My pleasure.
What is he feeding this man?
I would apologize for my analytical ambush. I have to consider using apologies sparingly.
Just keep it professional.
Or we could socialize like adults.
God forbid, right? Please tell me he didn't just feed that man human flesh. But then again, knowing Hannibal from the little I know him, I think he will find that in poor taste. That was not a tasting pun. That was not a... I feel like he will find... I think that he will find that like disrespectful to give someone that meat to eat against their will. So I think he just cooked him like regular protein.
I don't think the shrike killed that girl on the field.
The devil is in the details.
Mm-hmm.
What didn't your copycat do to the girl in the field?
He had to show me a negative so that I could see the positive. That crime scene was practically gift wrapped.
Mm.
Are you reconstructing his fantasies? What kind
He
of problems
is.
does he have? I think Uncle Jack sees you as a fragile Liberty cup. Finest china used for only special guests.
Mm.
How do you see me?
There we go.
The mongoose I went under the house when the snakes slid by.
Stays away from danger. And there's this very interesting dynamic I'm loving here. It's like on the one hand, you can tell that from my knowledge from Silence of the Lambs and when he was a therapist or a psychologist, like he did that to find people that would like intrigue him, something he haven't had before or tried before, right? And one dynamic there that I'm perceiving is obviously he sees Will as something special that he wants to analyze. There's that one layer, and there's this second layer where like he is almost using Will as a way to analyze himself because he wants to know what this interesting person and their interesting mind thinks about me, which is the killer we're looking for. And there's a third layer there where he is essentially getting into their minds. It's almost like having the answers for a test. It's almost like he can never be caught because like he knows all the answers because he's with them. And with all those three layers of that dynamic, I'm just looking forward to how the show will play into those or like subvert my expectations. Who is going to end up getting played, like who is going to, what they're going to learn about each other. And because in a sick way, it's almost like both of them are mirrors of each other to an extent, and they will both come out of this better at what they do, similar to what Hannibal said in his office about the psychologist at the school, that I learned as much from her as she learned from me. So it shows that he's learned. It shows that he's coachable. It shows that like even as smart as he is, he feels like he's not perfect and wants to know more. This cold, boy. So cold.
I'm just curious how the FBI goes about its business when it's not kicking indoors.
Right.
You're lucky we're not doing house-to-house interviews.
Must be hundreds of construction sites all over Minnesota.
Certain kind of metal, certain kind of pipe, certain kind of pipe coating. So we're checking all the construction sites that use that kind of pipe.
And it's almost like Hannibal is having so much fun with this, you know, like, let me see what he's thinking, you know?
Yes, they are taking things. No.
What did you say your names were?
Garrett Jacob Hobbs.
He's one of our pipe threaders.
Does Mr. Hobbs have a daughter? 18 or 19, wind-chafed, plain but pretty. She'd have auburn hair, about this tall.
He's paying attention.
What is it about Garrett Jacob Hobbs you find so peculiar?
Left a phone number, no address.
You have an address for Mr. Hobbs?
Interesting. Did he do that on purpose? Interesting. What is he doing?
Hello, it's for you.
Is this the next victim?
Locked.
Hello?
Is this Hobbs?
Mr. Garrett Jacob Hobbs. You don't know me, and I suspect we'll never meet. This is a courtesy call. Listen very carefully.
Oh?
They know.
Wow. Tipped him off. Oh God, another one happened. So why would he do that? Just to play games? Just to make it more interesting? He slit her Jesus. Did he get her? He kept spraying too. Oh, he got her. Why did Hannibal do that? He saved her. But bruh, you tipped him off and made him end the wife.
Where's Graham?
You said he wouldn't get too close.
She warned you. That gotta be too much for anybody. So now I'm here at the end of the episode thinking through the whole thing. The killer was not Hannibal. It was Hobbs. Or Cobbs. It was Hobbs. Because I just put two and two together that like him saying he has a daughter. The daughter is his prize. Freaking weird. So this first episode, the killer wasn't even Hannibal. It was someone else. I am not buying it. Does he actually care? Freaking amazing. Freaking amazing. Because I'm out here thinking it's like, is there a possibility that like, obviously my opinions would have been, or some of my first time takes would have been kind of different if I hadn't seen Silence of the Lambs. If I came into this fresh, like would I even suspect that Hannibal was the killer? Would I have suspected anything like that? Yeah, because like going back and thinking all through the scenes and putting Hobbs as the suspect instead of Hannibal, a lot of things add up. But then again, I'm sure maybe that was the show's intention, because even the way it highlighted them discovering that he eats them to how they edited it to Hannibal preparing the meal is like, of course you would think that it's him. Let me know how you thought about this on your first time watching, but yeah, boy, this is it. I've mentioned over and over how artistic this show is and how much I love the cinematography, the editing. It's like some of these scenes you can frame them and hang them as a picture. I love that. I've never seen True Detective, but like this gives me the vibe of True Detective from what I've heard people say about that show, at least the season 1. I love the new the characters I got introduced to. I love Will. I love that like he's dealing with his own personal things and they warned don't let him get too close. I love seeing how he analyzed crime scenes, but then it makes me a little bit worried that he puts himself into the killer's like headspace to better like understand them. I don't think that's something he can even control. I love the added aspect of them being copycats and the way he was able to dissect what it was and how they compared and contrast like the difference between the copycat and the actual person. I love that he's a dog dad. That just tells you a lot about him, and I'm sure rescue as well. This episode had some scary, spooky elements, and my fear tolerance with horror is like -1. So I love the introduction of Hannibal, the scene where he was freaking cooking and eating it. I love his suits. This is great. This is a show that I think I'm definitely gonna enjoy. Like I said earlier, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, please do all the YouTube algorithm thing. If this video performs, I'll continue putting it out on YouTube as quick as I can. If not, everything will be complete on Patreon. Like I said, if you're watching this right now, we're probably almost done with the season, or like at least halfway through it. I want to hear your thoughts, and like I said, please keep it spoiler free. If you watch till this part of the video, just leave a flower emoji so I can shout you guys out in the comment section. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I have so much to think on about this, and yeah, I'll see you guys in episode 2. Peace. Bye.